Marshmallows and cream.
Alright, here we are back again. Oh, what a great day it is. How are we doing, Josh?
Doing alright, man. Far from finished. Back with Joshy Poo and Daniel Boy.
Don't ever say that ever again. That was terrible. That's not part of the introduction. We're scratching that. No, we're not. We're keeping it in. But far from finished with your co-hosts, Daniel Velasquez and Josh Moreno. Back at it again. Here we are, Josh. Today, you know what I have for you, sir? I have a hat full of topics here, and you're going to draw from it.
Oh, well, this is a nice hat you got here, Daniel. It's like an Abraham Lincoln-style top hat. I wish we had video for this. That'd be dope. But, okay, we got a little...
You got the magic hat going on here. We're going to pull a rabbit out of it.
You did your homework. I see some different color flashcards in here. This is actually professional work. I'm liking what I see. All right, what do we got here? Fuck you. That's the first card I pulled out. It says, fuck you. This is a joke. This is a joke hat. This is where's the
got him. The joke was on you. I got you with the jokes. All right. So really, the first topic I'll pull in. If you're playing games, playing jokes around here, I'm gonna close my eyes here. I'm digging around.
He's digging for gold.
Here we are. I got the paper here.
Is it gold?
It is. All right. Okay. Looks like we're talking about social conversations. That's the topic that I wrote out.
Okay. You want to explain what you mean by that?
I'm gonna get there, bud. All right. So social conversations. I think what I was thinking when I wrote this topic down, from what I can remember, is people and every day and how it's a struggle to talk with each other and how, you know, me personally, I'm a more social person. I say I can be introverted at times too, but I was just thinking about whenever I try talking to people, just like, hi, how are you doing today? You know, usually they look at me like, fuck off.
Not always. Usually when you smile at people, they smile back.
I disagree.
Usually.
Maybe.
There's a lot of people that are
50-50.
Assholes, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say 50-50. It's like 80-20.
60-40.
Really? For me, whenever I smile at people, at least.
Well, dude, I'm sorry. Not all. Some of us are ugly. Okay.
I guess you got the ugly.
I guess I do.
Don't give it to me.
You got the ugly.
Nah, but I feel what you mean, though. It's like, okay, so social conversations, you mean just be like being sociable, like the ability to be sociable?
No, not just the ability to be sociable, but for some people, being sociable is weird in general. Just someone coming up to you and saying hi. From what I've heard, a lot of people that live up north say we're definitely more hospitable down here. You can start a conversation in a line. And even down here, it's still not like most people, you say hi. It's like, why are you talking to me right now? As you can see, I'm doing something right now. Even if you're not doing something. I have my headphones in. Don't talk to me.
It's like, I don't know who you are. Stop talking to me. You don't deserve my time of day. Like, bitch, what the fuck?
I just want to start a conversation, but excuse me now, you know. Imagine if people were... I understand it can be weird because you never know. There are some super weird people out there. You have stranger dangers, so you don't want to just trust everybody that you meet. Not every Joe Blow from around the way. You don't want to just trust them and go out of your way to be like, okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, that makes sense. But at the same time, like, that doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. Like, if you're walking down the street and you're going into a building and there's somebody right behind you, don't fucking close the door behind you. You know, fucking, like, open it for them. Like, be a good person. Say, how you doing? Have a good day.
Why?
Why not? What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm getting where you're coming from, and that's my point. Because you never know where you might end up from just having a conversation with somebody. There's been instances where I've just met a random group of people at like a show that I've gone to. Next thing you know, you're back at their place and eating chicken nuggets and french fries that they bought for you.
Is this the time that the dude had you brush all his teeth? Like...
He did. And that was also the case as well. We went back. The random dude, first time I ever met him, said, come back to my place. Bought us all chicken nuggets and french fries. No one was really eating them, so I was going over there by myself. He had all the sauces. So I had all the choice of sauces.
All the sauce.
Chicken. I was eating, and then at some point, he was a dentist. So he brought out toothbrushes, and then he made us all brush our teeth. He said, okay, guys, we're going to count into something. I don't remember. But I just remember we all started brushing our teeth. Said, okay, now we're good. and then we took a family photo of us brushing our teeth. I haven't seen that guy to this day, nor do I remember his name. But I do remember that it was a great time, and if I hadn't been as friendly in that moment, I wouldn't have been in that situation. Now, granted, I'm not saying go back to everyone's loft, because that could also be a very dangerous situation. You could get kidnapped, and it could be very bad. But there's the chance that it might not be. And
there's a lot of good people that are also friendly and have money and would like to share it with you.
Yeah, just share good times. His loft was amazing too, man. It was decked out. This man said, "I have candy if you want it." He had the sparkling. He had the LaCroix, man. I don't even like LaCroix, but
said, "Fuck it."
He offered it to me, and it was a great time. It was an awesome, optimal experience.
Optimal experience. Optimus Prime.
Yeah, Carl, that's what. No. It was a fun time, and you never know what situations you might get in, or the case that maybe you may find someone who has the same interest in you, and you go out and you start doing things, because it's easy to keep to yourself. And I feel like everyone wants people to come up to them, you know? Like, why should I go up to somebody when they can come up to me?
It's like, I'm just going to mind my business. Like, basically, at that point, it's like, if people want to pay attention to me, they'll come and pay attention to me, which isn't the worst way to live. I mean,
I feel like we both do that at times. We're like that
at
often.
the same time, it's like when we're in a place that we're not natural to, you don't see us sitting down in the corner. Like, we're just going up to people saying, "Yo, how's it going? Like, where the fuck are you from?
How are you been? My name is this.
You want to take an L in beer pong, bitch?"
Oh yeah, I mean, if we were drinking at that time. Yeah. But there's also, if you, let's say you enjoy watching TV shows, you enjoy playing video games, why not go out? I'm not saying you have to go out of your way, but just start a small conversation. Next thing you know, you might have a new partner or a new person to go to shows with, a new person that may want to play video games with, that you can play online with,
or even a new business partner. You might find work, and just by being nice, and like, you never know, just being nice to people could have somebody say, "You know what, I actually like your demeanor. I'm about to offer you a job better than what you're working at right now." And then, I mean, obviously you don't have to take it, and you don't have to trust these people, but that's just off your generosity and your demeanor, you know what I mean?
And this is another thing, is people always talk about networking. You don't necessarily have to have a conversation with someone every time just to get something out of it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I think the best part of networking is if you're really trying to network and you're really trying to make the best of every situation. That comes with being genuine and actually, becoming that person that's able to talk with people and relate to them and have these conversations. Because if someone feels like you're just trying to get something out of them, chances are they're not going to want to do business with you or do anything with you at all. That's me. If I feel like you're just trying to get something out of me and it's not a genuine interaction,
you can miss me with that. Yeah,
I'm not gonna want to hang out with you. And it's like, let's say someone who's most people who are artists, though, or if you're like a writer or you're doing music, there are some people who just do collabs just because they know that's gonna get views. But there are the people you enjoy making stuff with, that are, when you've met them, you're like, wow, this person really, we have a lot in common. We have a lot of the same style, and you might make some of the best music or make some of the best just art with those people. And that's, I think, you never know what's gonna happen unless you go out of your comfort zone a little bit. Be wary always. KYP, a big thing. Know your personnel.
Shouts out Coach Wilson.
Right. Just, you always gotta know who you're surrounding yourself with. Know who you are first and foremost. Are you a lackadaisical person? Do you not really pay attention to things around you? If that's the case, then for sure at least pay attention to the situations you're currently in, Or
at least the things that affect you and the people around you. Like, don't necessarily lose your track of mind. Just, there's a lot of things to pay attention to in this world, and a lot of them are unimportant, and you just gotta, I guess, take a moment to understand what's important to you and move to correctly put out your energy towards that shit.
It's not always an easy thing to do, though, especially when there's so much, so you gotta focus on this and you gotta focus on that. And you're right, a lot of it's not necessarily important because it's like, okay, I gotta worry about what this person's doing now because it's affecting me, and then you don't want to have to deal with it. But sometimes you never know where that could lead. You gotta take everything with a grain of salt.
Right.
And those situations might lead you to making a new best friend.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a weird thing. I've had so many situations where This is also an off the wall. I would not recommend this 9 times out of 10 because I've had my fair share of bad roommates now as well. But one of my best friends now, are really good friends that I had lived with. It was one of my first couple roommates actually. I had met him. We were working at a Topgolf together, and I've worked there for maybe a month. Not even at that point. I think it was going on a month. And we just clicked, we just started having conversation. Really cool person. And then he was talking about he needs a place to stay. And I was like, man, I'm talking about moving out too. If that's something you're looking for, we could become roommates. And, that's not something I would advise normally, ever. Probably not again. But
that situation worked out pretty well for y'all.
That's a random, just because.
Probably the best it could have gotten.
Oh, really? Out of a roommate that we struggled through some of those times, but that was one of the best people I could have lived with in terms of getting through things, and overcoming obstacles. And I only knew him for a month at the time, and we're still friends. Now it's like a little over 2 years ago now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that within a month period, we were like, yeah, we could live together. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know you.
And you did that with like a couple of people.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I based some situations off of that situation, off my better judgment. And then I've had my set of failures, which I've learned from as well.
Good job.
But that, I know. But that was it was a nice situation. We actually had another coworker end up moving in with us also.
Yeah,
during that time. Yeah, Devin. I didn't even know him for maybe like a month or two. Man, we've been friends for a little over 2 years now too. You know what I mean? And we still keep in contact now. Shouts out Devin. He's having a family now too. He's about to have a family of his own. So shout out to him. Shout out, exactly. I think that is his Twitter too. He's like Dev. But it's crazy how that situation's turned out. Was just going on a whim and saying, "Hey, yeah, I'll get to know you." Once again, I'm not 100%. Like I have had my failures, but.
He said, I'm not shooting 50% from the field. I'm shooting like 67.
It's okay, though, because you got to sometimes. Like, now, from that roommate situation, I'm doing these podcasts, and then he's doing photography. We went in together with a whole totally different mindset of something completely different, and now we're here. And he's doing photography, making money off of that.
That's just dope.
It's pretty awesome, yeah. That's just from me talking to a stranger and being vulnerable and saying I don't know why, because he's not the person to just trust anyone. He's a very to himself kind of person as well. So for that whole entire situation to have happened is rare. It was
by the luck of the draw.
Exactly. It was really by the luck of the draw. You just never know where life is gonna put you or you're gonna end up.
And yeah, that kind of ties back to what we were talking about. It's like if you constantly don't allow yourself to experience new things with new people, then you will constantly stay exactly where you're at. And that's not necessarily a bad thing if you like where you're at, but you gotta live a little.
You do gotta live a little. Man, I don't know. I just always think about how many terrible situations I've been in. But I'm a person who's willing to go through that because I like the rush, I guess, of some things or the adventure. Now, that can get you into trouble a lot of times.
It has.
It has gotten me into a lot of trouble. And I'm trying to work on more professional relationships as well, not just having fun, which is hard as well. But
it's really hard to say, to build a relationship based off of, professionalism and business, minded wise, without, I guess, worrying about how much fun you're going to be having. That's
some people, though. It depends on how you're approaching the situation. I mean, if you both know you're going in there for business and you know that's what it is, it's more so how or why should I work with you, or what is this deal that we're going to come across. But I also feel as though the more genuine relationships that you do build when you do talk to these people, it's maybe more so, hey, I have this, like you said, I have this spot open if you want to come work for me now, or it might not even be at that moment, but later as time goes on, they might have a spot that's open, or they might tell you, hey, we're going on this trip, I have a spot available, don't worry about it. And then you might do that same thing in return, saying, hey, we have all this, I'm having a cookout, don't worry about anything, I have drinks, everything, come over, have a good time, you know what I mean? And you never know where these people may. It's kind of weird because when you hear a lot of people talk about success stories and stuff, oh, this was my roommate, and then before you know it, your roommate was this famous professional artist, singer,
or
and then
athlete or something.
yeah, and then now you're a writer for TV, like a TV show writer.
Yeah.
But back then, you're like, I worked at a Best Buy.
We were both struggling.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, we were really struggling.
Nah, yeah, I feel that. But honestly, yeah, whenever you, like, get to know other people and, like, actually have genuine conversations with them, it doesn't only teach you, like, about that person, about their culture, the world that they grew up in, but it can also teach you a lot about yourself and things that you might be interested in, things that you haven't thought about, things that you don't think about, things that people have to think about.
Stuff, yeah, you haven't thought about before because
Right.
you're always in your own perspective, and you're gonna have your life that you grew up in, but they also are gonna have the life
Right.
they grew up in, which they might be completely different, but y'all might be the same.
And you might have horse blinders to all of that shit until you actually go and talk to these people and understand where they're coming from.
And you that's one of the best things in, like, my opinion, just finding something new that you didn't know you loved, and or a different type of culture that you enjoy. You know, what I believe, America, the whole basis of it being created was so all these different cultures could come together. You know what I mean? You have all these
melting pot.
exactly, and it was so you could learn from each other and kind of enjoy these different things that we have to offer. You know, like, people love anime now. You got pho. I love pho. It's like the little things too. What's it? I'm trying to think of it. It's where Holi. You ever been to Holi?
No.
It's like a part of the Indian culture. It's really actually, it's like, I wouldn't say festival, like a little gathering, to celebrate the culture and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome event.
That is
actually.
dope.
Yeah.
Sounds dope.
And just like being able to experience different things that you haven't experienced before, and when you actually take the time to talk to these people and why they do it, and you might not necessarily have to agree with them and tell them that's how it should be, but you can kind of accept that and just support them because that's something that they really enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that and that's why I fuck with, like, actually going and talk to people, like, because not only do you get to experience new things, but you also get to have them, like, tell you about those things, and they've been through this shit. They can guide you through it, and if you actually enjoy it, they might be able to have a lot of recommendations for you on how to enjoy it further.
Gives you a sense of compassion.
For sure.
A sense of understanding
And connectedness.
empathy.
Almost.
Yeah, because you're learning. And a lot of people, I don't think, take the time to really understand other people. They just, okay, this is what I think, and that's what that is, and you think that, and we're different, so we'll never get along. But that is not how it has to be. And I think there's a lot of times as well whenever people realize, if you didn't know, for instance, if you didn't know someone was gay per se, you know what I mean? You get to know them and their interests, what they like. You might like them as a person, but because you want to say that person's gay, I can't. Like, I don't. My religion doesn't allow me to, accept that. So you're just gonna already push them off to the side and act like whatever they say is irrelevant or doesn't matter.
But that makes you an ingenuine person at that point. It's like, do you care more about what this religion says, or do you care more about how you feel and how you actually, whenever you got to know this person, how you thought that was a good person, like somebody you would like to have in your life? Now that you find out something about them that goes against what you believe in, with air quotes, it makes you kind of an ingenuine person if you go and then say, oh, I can't have this person in my life even though I want them there. Or even if they should be there, or even if they're great for the life that I want to live, they're great to have around, I can't now because I have this stupid religion thing that says that I can't have them in my life. It's not genuine.
I think also a lot of people, because it's different from what they're used to, it's something that's a little off-putting. But what I guess I'm getting at is, you don't know, as a person, these people could be amazing. This could be the person saving your life at some point. This could be the person that helps you get a job. This could be the person that helps take care of you, or the person that's looking out for you at some point. And you never know where life could put you, and you never know where life could take you. Now, I'm saying you don't necessarily have to agree with all of their values or all of their morals, standards, but what I am saying is you never know what you could get out of that situation. And I know that sounds bad in that aspect, but what I mean is the fact it could benefit the both of you, and you may grow and learn from each other.
This person could be the heart surgeon that saves your daughter's life. You know what I mean? Like, or you never know, like, or the cancer doctor that saves your mother's life. Like, and now you treated them terribly in the past, and now you feel like an asshole because this person just did something incredible for your life.
But sometimes it takes those type of things for people to really open, their eyes and realize that life's more than just these titles that we put on each other, or what we think is everyone. We're all in our own world, and the crazy part is we're all in our own world, and we think about, this is my life and I'm doing this, but at the same time, the life that we live is constantly about connections that we have with people. It's about the relationships you build with people. And I understand being on your own business and minding your own business, and that's awesome. But when you really break it down, building this world together is going to take teamwork no matter what. When you look at how terrible some people are getting treated, entire races, and you see how the environment's going to shit, and you see how the economy's fucking us over, and these are things that as a team we got to come together and realize, if we're going to ever make a difference, we got to actually put in the work and help each other out, regardless of our differences and regardless of what we may believe certain things to be. Is if we really want the world to be a better future, then we actually have to take the time to realize it's going to take these connections and understanding each other in these different cultures.
Yeah, I think it's about moderation. I mean, nobody's expecting you to go out and spend 18 hours a day, sleep 6 hours a day, and go out 18 hours a day and just talk to every single person you ever see. Nobody's expecting you to do that, but it's about moderation. Take time to yourself, meditate, see what you got going in your life, figure that shit out. Then figure out how you can go out and make friends. When you make those friends, be genuine with them. Not all of them are going to be people that you can trust, so don't necessarily give them everything that you have, but be genuine and love them for who they are. Love yourself for who you are. Do what you can and help your community at any cost. I mean, the only way to change the world is to change your world, and that's really what you got to understand at some point.
Is what's going to be best for you. I literally have this list of challenges up on my wall, which I'm not saying I'm great at, committing to all of them, but it's always a good thing to look at, because each challenge is a 30-day challenge that you got to go through. You're supposed to immerse yourself in whatever that challenge is, and kind of learn from it. What's the
challenges called?
It's challenges to enlightenment. Something, however many days to enlightenment. I think over a certain amount of time, it comes out to about 2 years. If you were to do each one individually, 30 days.
But you can do some of them together.
Yeah, you could do some of them together if you wanted to, But if you were to do each one individually, it would probably take you about 2 years to finally do it. And I think that those challenges really help me, even though I may not do every single one, but I try to do maybe a couple of them here and there, like just to better myself. One of them's, be completely honest with yourself and the people around you, be vulnerable. Don't just try to say something. Don't be a yes man type of thing,
Right.
Don't just say things to spare people's feelings, but be honest every day with who you are and be honest with the people around you. It doesn't mean be an asshole.
It just means be not brutally honest, but just don't do anything dishonest. Don't step outside of yourself.
Yeah, say what you feel, but it doesn't mean you have to. Tone is a thing too, and how you say it's important as well. But you can't saying those things, or stepping out of your comfort zones, talking to a stranger every day is one of them. Like, just talk to one stranger every day.
Right.
There's one that's do just a random act of kindness every day, where the point is to, kind of get that feeling of helping somebody. And it's just different things like that. Taking a walk for 30 minutes every day, do meditation for 20 minutes every day.
And see, if nothing else, these challenges provide like a daily motivation to get out of bed and do something productive with your life, rather than sit in front of a TV or a cell phone.
Exactly, and I have that on my wall right above my bed. Even though I may not do something every day, I try to do them most days and improve myself. And that's something to me that's very important, and it's helped me learn to improve and become better with the people around us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. It's sick.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so
fucking
sick.
Stuff like that, dude.
Talking to people, dude, is so sick. It's like, it's really a whole
like
new...
totally awesome, dude.
It's an enlightening thing, dude.
Should get into it.
No, but really, it's something you should definitely take the time out to kind of explore yourself and explore the people around you, because that's the only way we're going to ever really make any kind of difference or make any point of getting better. We all talk about doing better, but at the end of the day, it's what actions are you going to do to be better. There was a tweet that I read today, and it actually was something that made me think. It was psychologists say, because some people say you have to think differently in order to start seeing things differently and be differently. But psychologists actually say it's not necessarily what you think differently, but what you start doing differently. Right. That's going to affect how you see things. Because then you can start thinking differently once you start doing things differently.
Yeah, exactly. Like your thoughts of change will come with acts of change. You need to do something different with your life to be able to figure out like what thinking on that level of playing field is actually on before you. If you're just thinking about something, you're not getting shit done, first of all. So that's secondly, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's good to think about things before you do them, but it's not good to necessarily like go into deep thought over something before you actually get an understanding of what that thing is.
I do that a lot, and that's how you get caught in doing absolutely nothing, is thinking about what you're going to do and not doing it. Like, I'm going to do this. It's so easy.
You ever have so many options of what to do? Like, in a day, you just decide not to do any of them because you can't decide.
I think you just explained my life in a nutshell. All right, I want to do all these things.
Like I could go to the beach. I could go to the park. I couldn't go to the store. I need to go to the store. I could go to the gym. I could go swimming.
I'd go watch a play today. I could go to the movies. I could go explore this park. I could go hiking.
I could go fuck with my friends or see my parents or whatever. I mean, there's so many options. You end up just sitting in your bed and like, I'll just stay here.
I could just, I can just sit in bed. I have Netflix. I can act like
put Netflix on.
I don't need to go explore the world. I have what's that TV show where they show you the entire like different parts of the world and animals and stuff like that.
Isn't it
Planet Earth?
Yeah.
Planet Earth, yeah.
So Planet Earth.
Why go explore the world when you can just sit there?
I got the Discovery Channel, bitch.
I don't even need to get out of bed. And stuff happens though. You gotta start making those little things. You can't expect everything to come to you if you're not gonna go out of your way to make things happen for yourself. And I'm guilty of it, is always wanting things or people to come to me. And why doesn't anyone want to talk to me?
Nothing's gonna come to you.
Exactly, half the time. Sometimes you will get in those situations where people will come up and say hi. But think about it, more likely than not, everyone's thinking something similar. Like, I hope they introduce themselves to me.
There's two sides of that coin. It's like, there's so many fucking people in the world. For one person to say everything's going to come to me is going to be to expect everybody else to worry about you or have any interest in you. So if you're not interesting, then first of all, you're not going to be able to gather that level of enough interest to be able to succeed on that level of playing field. But on the other side of that coin, things do eventually come to you, as far as when you're productive, whenever you do what you're supposed to do, when you live life the way you're supposed to live it. I mean, be healthy, worry about yourself, worry about your mental health. Things do eventually come your way, opportunities, people that you enjoy. It's like you can't expect it to happen, but it eventually kind of does.
That's true.
It's like as long as you don't expect it to happen, it comes usually.
And I feel like in situations like that, it's in the weirdest way. You've worked so hard for 5-10 years. You're like, shit, when's something gonna give? And it's just randomly it's not random. You put in the work and you put in the work. It's not random, but it's random in the fact that someone finally just out of the blue. It's like someone showed me your music, or hey, you know what? I see you've been putting in the work, and now I actually like what you're doing. Would you like to come work for me?
Right.
And it's not necessarily it's out of the blue, random in the sense of, just it happened one day. You put in the work to, get that notice. Right. But it just finally something gave in. You're like, finally an opportunity arises to where you're able to tackle that opportunity and make it the best out of it.
Yeah, I feel that. No, Joe Rogan was talking about that the other day. He's talking about some people will say, I just became famous. They're like, you just became famous? What do you mean? And they're like, He's like, I don't know, it just happened. Like, one day it just happened. I don't know. And he's like, so did you do, like, any work to prepare for all of the things that you did to get there? And he's like, yes. And he's like, then you did the work, you fucking idiot. Shut the fuck up. So nobody just becomes famous or fucking becomes rich. It doesn't just fucking happen. You fucking worked to get there, you asshole.
You just did it. But it seems like that. And from a certain perspective, it seems like it, because, you know, you put in this work for so long, there's nothing happening.
It seems like it's regular to you, because it's like you were going to do it anyways, almost. Like, I was going to do this shit anyways. Y'all are going to pay me to do it? All right, fucking, it just happened. Like,
or, you know, you were just so used to nothing happening. One day out of nowhere, here you go. And then 2 days. Just think about, a lot of artists musically talk about when they blow up, it just happened out of nowhere. Because, you know, you're releasing music, and you're used to, okay, I go to shows, there's 20 people in the audience, and then one day, one song's played on the radio or blows up, and then
all of a sudden, your shows are sold out.
People are asking for interviews. You're like, 2 days ago, I was on my couch. Now I'm doing interviews.
I ate a 4 for $4 for breakfast this morning, and I'm probably not going to have enough money for dinner, so.
He's like, how do you feel that you're here? I honestly don't even know how or what I'm doing right now. I just got the call, and I
feel regular. Thank you.
So, I mean, I was just eating at my house, if that gives you any, you know.
Hi, Mom.
Exactly. And you do put in the work. So nothing's ever going to just come to you. I mean, there are situations where sometimes I'm like, man, why, you know, you feel rude. You feel rude, like, oh, they didn't introduce themselves to me, but it's like, who are you? To be fair, if I'm ever in a situation, no one looks interesting enough for me to just want to go talk to you. I'm just a person who's going to say, hi, how are you? I'll get to know you, and I'm like, oh, that person's interesting, or I really enjoyed the conversation because, you know, either we had some interest or you were just the type of person to be able to keep the dialogue going, and we were able to just connect through that and learn about each other. But I'm never just going to look at someone and be like, you're interesting enough for me to go say hi, unless, you know, you're dressed up as like a wizard from Harry Potter or something, and it's not a situation that calls for that. I might have to go ask you why you're dressed like that.
Like in the middle of Walgreens, just a wizard from Harry Potter.
You're like, you're like,
the Sorcerer's Stone.
Or you just got some super silly outfit, like Kermit the Frog, and you're dressed as some random character. Then,
like, maybe you shouldn't go up to these people.
Yeah, it might be a little strange, but I might have to know, is there a reason you're dressed like this?
Folks, if you see a person, namely a adult male, and dressed up as a Kermit the Frog in the middle of a place where there are calls for no Kermit the Frog, please do not approach.
Maybe me. Hey, it might be me. Come say hi. You never know. Just to catch some attention. Hi, I'm Paul. You know,
I'm Paul. But today I'm Kermit.
It's just, it's interesting. So, I mean, you're probably not going to be someone that looks interesting enough for me to approach. I just like to get, you know, hi, what's your name? Or, you know, hi, this is my name and stuff like that. Just right. Kind of. It makes people feel more comfortable, too. If you're more of an approachable person and you know, introduce yourself, you kind of allow yourself to be vulnerable in that situation. I feel like it makes the conversation a little bit easier because people aren't going to feel like you're going to judge them on who they are. Because a lot of people are like that, though. They're sitting there, oh, you do this? Oh, is that? Okay, look, we're just trying to have a conversation here. I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me. It doesn't, you know, it's not that. Yeah. Unless I was over here saying, yeah, I kill people for a living. Then maybe you might need to question who I am as a person. Yeah,
at that point, that definitely is going to take some questioning.
I might need to leave wherever I'm at because I don't.
Or just stay for a couple of minutes while the police arrive.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, getting to know people. Don't always expect things to happen to you. Sometimes you got to go out there, talk to new people, step out of your comfort zone, ask people how their lives are going. And most people aren't going to want to talk to you or want to tell you about their lives because who are you and why should they tell you anything? Yeah. So it might take time just to ask, hey, what do you enjoy doing? Do you want to go out? Invite somebody out. Like if you don't want to go by yourself, do you want to go to a game, like a baseball game?
You want to go get a bite to eat? You want to go to a movie?
Grab some coffee?
How are you feeling about today?
What do you want to do? And then y'all might not click. Y'all might not have any interest, anything in common. Y'all might not vibe at all.
Well, that doesn't mean you won't vibe with anyone else or someone else, namely.
But you know, in that aspect, you might actually make a new friend, and they might tell you new places. Like, hey, if you like this, check this place out. one of my coworkers is like that. You know, I'll say I went to eat here. Oh, have you tried this place or this place? Or you can tell them, hey, I like art. Oh, have you ever been here, here, or here? There was this one underground place I used to go to all the time, and you know, it's like they do this, and it's like, what? Damn, you must have spent every day doing something for the longest time, because he has, I swear, a place for everything. And it's, you like this kind of food? Oh, I know this great place. The price point on it.
Spot.
Yeah, the price point. The food is just so good, very rich, and it's like you're like, all right. He could sell you on anything. It could probably be the worst food, but just the way he describes you. All right, deal. You got me sold.
Oh, you like garbage? Well, let me take you down to this one spot.
This dumpster over there off of 34th Street. Just like, oh damn, I didn't know I liked garbage that much until now. You like garbage? Well, check out this album that this person. I'll serve you some hot garbage. You ready? I don't know, but it's just interesting, and just being that person who's inviting and welcoming could change someone's day.
It's exciting. It keeps you moving. I mean, not everybody. It keeps me moving. I'm seeing somebody smile because I said something silly, or I said hello and smiled at them, and they smile back, and maybe they feel better about their day, whether they had a bad day or not. You ask them how their day's going, they say, I've had better. You say, fair enough. It's a good answer. You're not having a great day, but you're not having a terrible day.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, for sure.
You've seen the comedy show with Chris D'Elia, Man on Fire?
Yes.
I kind of like look at the two different ends of the spectrum of things based off of that comedy. And if you ever see Bojack Horseman, Todd, his character in that, so like if you look at the comedy show with Chris D'Elia, he talks about Man on Fire. Everyone thinks they're the man on fire. Or it's like, you're not. You know what I mean? You're probably not the man on fire. You're just the extra that's there. You think that you're the main character, but really it's someone else. But the fact is, everyone wants their life to be that way. What are you doing to make it interesting?
Right,
You're just expecting shit to pop off.
Because you're living, you expect to be the man on fire.
Exactly. Just because my life is gonna be crazy. What are you going out of your way to do some really intense, insane stuff in order to make stuff happen? Or are you the guy that's gonna sit there? You're probably the guy that's in the back eating the sandwich at the coffee shop.
Probably just the guy making the sandwich at the coffee shop.
I'm saying. Exactly.
But at that point, it's like at some point everybody's gonna be like, I'm the man on fire. But then as soon as you ask them, okay, so really, you've got all these things going on, then you must be having success in all of your business ventures, and you must have a lot of real estate. You must be doing well for yourself. And you're like, no. I'm just alive.
Said, I'm the main character. Why?
I'm just alive. Well, I'm alive too, asshole. What does that make me?
And I think everyone wants to be. And what I was in relation to that was everyone wants to be like a Todd. If you ever see Bojack Horseman, basically his whole character is he doesn't do anything, but somehow shit just continues to happen for him or like happen to him. He gets caught up in the most sticky situations, but he doesn't really do much, and somehow he knows like all these crazy people. Like he was just a kid at one point living in this neighborhood, and then he just ended up staying at one of these Bojack, the main character, just ended up staying at his house and living there, and no one told him anything.
And he just lives there.
He gets caught up in all these crazy situations with everybody around there and doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't have a job half the time. He doesn't do anything. He just wakes up on the couch. He's like, hi, I'm here. Yeah, hi, I'm Todd, I'm here. But like, that's probably not going to happen to anybody. Chances of any of that happening. I think the fact is, though, he does make shit happen because he's just like, I don't care so much, I'm going to go and see what happens.
I'm going to go and see how much shit I cannot care about shit.
Like, I'm going to just do this, and if anyone says anything, cool. But if I get away with it, it's fine.
Cool.
Exactly.
Double cool.
But at some point, you got to be putting effort in towards something. So if you think you're the man on fire, just remember, you're probably not.
Yeah, you're definitely not. Unless you're actually out here doing some shit that's changing either the world around you or just the way that people perceive things. If you're just doing some random shit, like if you're an investment banker and you're making $3 million a year, good job, you're making money. But who the fuck are you? I don't know your name.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about you. What are you doing? Exactly. So with that being said, I wouldn't necessarily take every situation like I'm important enough to where the fact if you talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you because do you know who I am? No, I guarantee you half of these people around you don't know who you are.
Do you know who I am? I don't. I don't know.
Be a little bit more modest in every day. I don't think it would hurt to be a little bit more modest. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, humble, really.
That as well, both. Be humble and modest of a person. Don't, like, if someone goes out of the way, it's like, wow, you did a really good job. I know. Okay, thanks. I'm not going to ever give you a compliment. I gave you a compliment because I really thought you
can say it, like, sarcastically, like, jokingly. Like, you can say, I know, like I knew I was going to type shit, but like as long as you know they know it's a joke, that's cool. But if you're like, I know I did, I don't need your comment, and at that point you're like, all right, fuck you. I'm never gonna give.
It's
you
like I gave you a
I don't even
compliment.
want to talk to you again.
I really felt like you did do a good job, but I definitely don't respect you now. So I don't
respect your work, but now I don't know if I can respect you as a person. Good job.
It's like
you did this to yourself.
People who end up making it in life, and started off somewhere at the bottom, and then someone comes up like, "Wow, that was a really amazing show." Did I say you could talk to me? It's like, oh my god, like, who are you? I mean, I get it. I like your work, but you're not that special.
Really?
Just calm down.
It's like even if you're the best at what you do, I mean, if you're not a good person at the end of the day, if you treat people like shit, then fuck you, dude. Like you're not good of a person. You might be the best pole vaulter in the world. I'm not gonna give a fuck about you or that.
I mean, first of all, I don't know too many people that watch pole vaulting. I mean, no offense to anyone who pole vaults, but I'm sure you're doing a great job. But I don't think anyone really is worried about you pole vaulting.
Fair enough. You're not the man on fire. You're the best pole vaulter in the world, says Daniel.
I would still. You should still be proud of your accomplishments, and I'd still give you a high five for pole vaulting. But I'm just saying, this is off topic. I'm just saying, though, I don't know anyone who's ever said, I'm going to go watch pole vaulting.
I mean, what about the Olympics? Like, there's got to be people that, like, go to the Olympics and show up for the pole vaulting.
Oh, absolutely. It's probably people who have pole vaulted in the past or had, like, a passion for pole vaulting, or your family member that it's not like, a lot of the things in the Olympics you watch because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna see what's up, like the balance beam and stuff like that, gymnastics. Like, yeah,
see, there's a lot of people that are like passionate about gymnastics though, but pole vaulting, I don't see it. I
feel like more people go watch the where they run and they jump, the long distance jump. I feel like more. I know more about that than I do about pole vaulting. I mean, it's cool. You're going over a beam, you run, you jump,
I mean, they have, like, fast walking in the Olympics now, so, I mean...
They have fast walking? They're adding skateboarding to the Olympics.
Something like that. Skateboarding's, like, the lit thing to add, though. I wonder how they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to go X Games style or just, like, vert or, like, actually do, like, street tricks and shit like that, too. I don't know how they're going to run it.
I don't know. It's probably going to be a mixture of all of it. I feel like you're going to have people who are going to be mostly vert and then, street. Because, I mean, if... You already have the X Games. If they don't make the Olympics similar, I guess you're just doing it to say you're for.
Because it's like the Winter Olympics and then like the Winter X Games, right? It's different, right? They don't have like a Winter X Games for like snowboarding and shit like that.
They do have a winter, yeah.
But that's on different years than the Olympics. But it's like pretty much the same.
So
shit,
they'll have
right?
Winter Olympics and then you'll have the Spring Olympics. So will you?
What? No, I'm talking about like years that they don't have the Winter Olympics. They have Winter X Games, or do they have Winter X Games even when they have Winter Olympics?
I don't know. How's it gonna work? They're just now adding it in there. That's all I'm saying.
That's a whole different thing. Has nothing to do with skateboarding.
So, I mean, you could be really good at something, off topic, but you could be really good at something and then still be a shitty person and no one's gonna care about what you do. I'm sure somebody will because people like to be associated with. I've said this so many times that I'm still gonna say it again because this is always so relevant to me, is... Whenever the girl that Lil Wayne was like, it was like Lil Wayne's side piece, and she was married to a whole other person, and then he was like, yeah, I'm associated with the girl that's associated with Lil Wayne, but then he soon found out that he was nowhere near Lil Wayne's level because they'd be married, and then she would get a call from Lil Wayne in the middle of the night, so she would get up and leave. I always use that example. Yeah,
I've never heard that.
You never heard that? I always use that as like an example. I'll probably say it a ton more times throughout these podcasts because it's just hilarious.
This dude's wife was Lil Wayne's side piece. And he was on
Mona Lisa
social media talking about.
She was talking about how like she would get up and she was.
But I'm saying he was talking about like I'm proud to be the person that's associated with her, who's associated with him. Did he come out and say that shit?
No, she was talking about how a lot of the men that she had talked to, including the man she was married with, think because she's with Lil Wayne, he's on that same level type of deal, like. I'm on Lil Wayne's level because I'm with the woman who's associated
also with him.
But that's not the case. He's better than you.
On all accounts, though.
People like to be associated with things that are better, because they feel like that makes them better. But that's not always the truth.
How do you call yourself a man, say I know that I'm a good man and a strong and powerful man because my wife is getting fucked by Lil Wayne?
I don't think that was the case.
That makes me on Lil Wayne's level.
I think it was more so the fact of being, if you're with the same person that this famous person's with and you have some kind of clout. I mean, but what does that really matter if she doesn't even really, she cares about you, but you're still not anywhere near his level? At what point does that matter at that point? At what point does clout not matter? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're associated with that person unless, you're telling me, hey, we can go over to their house every day and just have a good time. Don't worry about anything. Then at that time, maybe.
Food, drinks, entertainment, it's all paid for. You just go show up and have a good time every day. No work.
Then it's like, okay, cool. You're associated with someone famous. Unless they're going to be we're going to be close and I actually
unless that's gonna be my homie.
It's not I mean, if we don't have a connection there and I don't think that person's interesting, it's not a big deal. It's like, whoa, no way. Cool.
Who are you? Oh, for real?
Yeah, you hear people say my friend's sister's brother is really in close with. It's like, at that point, you lost me after you.
My friend's sister's brother knows Lil Wayne's second cousin, who is second removed from the family, but only through marriage to her younger brother, who's also dead. All right, good job. We know nobody in this family. Okay.
I feel like I was talking to someone yesterday about it, too. Someone was telling me that they had a friend who was it was like a friend who's knew someone, the DJ or something. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, it's actually my friend's friend who knows the promoter that knows. I was like, at that point, I don't know what you're telling me.
It's your friend's friend that knows somebody else.
What are you trying to prove to me? What are you trying to prove to me?
It's like you could have just stopped when you started.
Like, that proves nothing to me. Just be yourself, man. I'm not worried about who you know. I'm worried about who you are as a person.
Right, yeah.
And if it just so happens you're acquainted with other people that are also cool, that says something about your character. But I'm not worried about you knowing someone else. People always want to, I'm this, to feel important. But I promise you, majority of people do not care. Most people don't. There are people that look for clout that are going to still hang out with you because they want to feel important. Majority of people don't care. So if you come to me acting like you're important and you're just an asshole, I'm letting you know. You better expect probably the same in return. I'm either going to ignore you and walk away or tell you to your face, I have no idea who you are. Please get out of my face.
And on that note, when we talk about being sociable, you're going to want to do the best you can to be a good person and be genuine with your conversation. If you do act like an asshole, expect that to be returned. The energy you put out is probably going to be given right back to you. If you come at people with a terrible mindset or they're trying to bag on somebody, don't expect that person to be all jolly about it and kiss your ass for the rest of the evening. They'd probably rather kick your ass for the rest of the evening.
Exactly. Just know a lot of people already have troubles talking to new people, or they're shy and they worry about what people think. And yes, you can be like, well, that's their problem. Okay, but if they're going out of the way to try to step out of their comfort zone, don't be a dick.
Definitely don't be an asshole, but just do what you can, I guess. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to handle a situation because you don't necessarily know who you're dealing with. But the best you can do is just be yourself, be nice,
Oh, relatively nice. Just be genuine.
Relatively nice.
Kind of be understanding, know that...
Respectful, I guess.
Exactly. Be more respectful and a little bit more understanding. Know that not all of us come from the same background or the same environment. And some of us are going to be a little weird. And some people are going to be a little different.
A little weird,
There's going to be some people that are going to be a little weird, a little different. Sometimes
some oddballs, yeah.
You might run into some weird situations. But just try to, bear with that situation. Understand we're all trying to make it in this world. Some of us, need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable because that way we can grow and learn from each other and build from each other and make the life that we actually want to live a little bit better instead of shutting each other off and living in the shithole that is the world right now. I mean, it's not completely terrible, but it's not entirely great either.
Agreed.
It could be a lot better. We could definitely improve on a large amount of things.
Well, it's up to us, so let's fucking do it, dude.
Yeah, let's not trap kids in cages. Let's not do that.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Let's not do that. Let's work on making the world a better place. Let's do it. I'm counting on all of you. I'm counting on myself too, because I'm still struggling, but I'm working.
You heard it here first from Rad Dude Dandy himself.
We're gonna make the world a better place. We're gonna do it.
Can we do it?
Yes, we can. Because we're going to do it. We're making it happen here. You know what it is. This is far from finished.
Dandy for president. This is far from finished.
Because we're far from finished. Bars.
All right, y'all. Have a good week.
Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.
Later.